today I'm going to be showing you how to create this 3D render of an iPhone. The model is free and the link is in the description, so if you'd like to download that. Thank you to the artist who made it. It's on Blender Kit, and I'll leave a little screenshot just to credit them here. And yeah, I just wanted to run you through how you could create something like this. And yeah, this is the original photo, and this is the version that I created in 3D in Blender. Obviously, it's not exactly the same. There's a little bit of my own taste involved there, but yeah, I just wanted to run you guys through how you can create some sort of simple lighting like this with a simple twist. Obviously, this is a lot more complex. You can see it, there's light linking going on where you've got highlights under both of them. This doesn't do any light linking just because I wanted to keep it very simple, but just kind of show you guys how you can create something quite nice, quite pretty, just with a few simple lights, and yeah, just a really simple scene. So yeah, I'll get into it. So we've got our iPhone in Blender. It's the iPhone 16. Again, if you want to grab this, you want to download Blender Kit. If you just type in iPhone, it's literally just this one here. Thank you to this guy. So yeah, I've also done a couple tweaks on the model itself. I've turned it blue. I've added this kind of noise texture to it. So yeah, we've got our 3D model, and yeah, it's been colored blue just to kind of match the screensaver as well. This is the hero model that they use in kind of their marketing. So yeah, what we want to do first is just grab a camera, and I'm just going to go into the object settings, just put all that to 0, and then I'm just going to do X 90, and then I'm just going to pull this back a couple steps on the y-axis. Can then go into camera view, and we can just get rid of that now. So I'm also going to set this to cycles, GPU compute, and I'm going to turn denoising on in the viewport. I'm also going to go for I'll go for 1080 by 1350, and yeah, going to set this to 70 millimeters, and I'm just going to start pulling this in really. Let's pull it into -1. So I've hidden the camera, and yeah, we just have our model at the moment. So on our camera, I'm just going to go down here in our pass part and just pull this all the way up so it makes it completely black. I'm going to turn on thirds, center, and this is, yeah, I think that's enough really. So in terms of the phone, I'm just going to rotate this on the Y by 90 and then on the X by 90. And you can see in the top layer, we just have the volume button and the action button. So this is the correct orientation at the moment. So we're just going to rotate this on the X by like X minus 30. So that's just rotated it 30 degrees there. And we can just see that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate it. I'm going to hit G, and then I'm going to go Y, and then Y again, which is going to go on the kind of local or object orientation rather than the global orientation. So it's actually rotating on the object coordination, or it's rotating on the object coordinates, imagining it's whatever, I don't know how I'm going to explain it. So I want to rotate this along the X, so I'm going to go R, X, 180, which is going to rotate it 180 degrees. So we have the correct orientation. So just looking at it from a glance, looks roughly okay. I'm just going to pull this in a little bit. Let's go -0.5. Yeah, looks about a nice ratio. And yeah, this is when we can turn on our rendering. So I'm actually just going to, we're just going to save right now. So yeah, I've saved, and I guess this is where we start with our lighting. So yeah, I'm just going to add one big area light to start with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into use nodes, and I'm going to turn the spread down to about 20. So what this does is it focuses the light rays so they're more parallel, so you get more straighter shadows rather than kind of a diffused, dispersed light source. This is great for product rendering as it allows you to control your lighting a bit better, but it's playing it with that in between so that there's a bit of softness but also a lot of control in how you light. So what I'm going to start off with doing is on our emission, I'm going to go Control T, and I'm just going to bring in a texture. So I just have these light maps here. So it's just a linear gradient and a radial gradient, but I'm just going to be going for the radial one for this one. And essentially what this does is it just softens the object, softens the lighting on the object a little bit, and it just gives you that extra little bit of control. So I'm going to go into object constraints, and I'm going to add an empty, and on this area light, I'm going to go track 2 and then select the empty. And I'm just going to pull this to one side like so. So I'm just going to set that to 0. And then I'm just going to do the same for this side. So Shift D all the way on this side. And then I'm just going to make sure that's 0.5. And yeah, you can see the object's getting lit up now. It's looking okay. I guess at this point, we'll consider lighting the background. You can see that there's something interesting going on here. All I've done is I've just created a gradient texture for the logo just to give it that extra bit of shimmer in the render. But yeah, this isn't really essential. So yeah, I'm just going to add a mesh plane. I'm going to go RX90, and I'm just going to pull this back quite a bit actually. I'm just going to scale it by 5. Might even pull it back a bit more to about there. Okay, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to add another light, and I'm just going to move this along a little bit and then just rotate this upwards, and I can pull it down one as well. So you can see that this is lit up the background. Again, just referencing this spread, so just turning that down, it allows you to just get a little bit more control in that render. So yeah, I'm just going to be moving it down a little bit to about there. Let's just see how this is looking. And you can see if it goes all the way down, you just get a sharp kind of box-like object really, which is not super nice. So I'm going to kind of avoid that. And in terms of the material, I'm just going to make this like a bluish material. And then I'm just going to scale this up a bit more on the Y, on the X, sorry. And then when you start to really turn this up, you get this white, which is really to do with the color management is good. You can also use Filmic, which gives quite a nice look. I'm just going to make it medium high contrast. And then, yeah, just going to use nodes as well and just drop in that texture again. So just going to scale it on the Y as well, just to spread it a little bit more. And yeah, just going to turn up amount as well, so you get something a bit more like that. Just going to move this down a little bit as well, and just rotate it so slightly, scale it in on the Y to make it a little bit thinner, like that. Maybe turn the spread up a little bit like so. Okay, so I'm just going to light it up here as well. Going to turn this down quite a bit as well. And then on this one on the bottom, what you want to do is you can just pull this and you just want to catch that underneath bit like that, so it just gets really nice. So I'm just going to give the light more of a blue hue just to create more of an interesting image, really. A bit more contrast, that kind of thing. So I'm going to add a color route and drop that in there. And then just in the white area, just going to pull this into like a blue, and you can see what's happening there. It's just making quite a nice look. So that's quite nice. And then I just want to make sure this is about right. That feels appropriate. And yeah, you can just play with this, you know, you could light it up all the way. You can use a reference. It seems about right. And yeah, it's really as simple as that, you know. For a setup like this, you don't need a lot of moving parts. Apple usually light their products very simply. On the surface, obviously there's a lot of complexity behind it, you know, to get a really beautiful look. But yeah, to get yourself off the ground, it really doesn't take a lot. It's also great just to create a bit of vignette, you know, and yeah, you can really just tweak it how you like. But yeah, I hope this has been a useful tutorial for you guys. I know it's a little bit different. I've been doing a lot of typography and stuff like that, but I thought I'd venture out into something that was interesting to me, and yeah, something I've been playing around with. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.